kiss for you.
Alright, let's talk about Marvel Rivals. So, you've also been inundated by everyone else talking about this game over the past 4 months, ever since the beta, so I'm going to try and make this quick. Here are 7 reasons that you should be interested in Marvel Rivals and kind of the interesting things about the game that not a lot of people may know, because they might not be following the newsfeed or all the info or all the videos or anything like that. This is going to be 7 things that you need to know going into this game that I think make this game pretty unique compared to other games in this kind of genre. So the first thing, it has a small download size of about 40 gigs, so that's just right off the top. It's not going to be a 60, 80, 100 gig game. Overwatch 2 at this point is getting to be like 80 plus gigs. This is a relatively small download, 40 gigs, which is very nice. Second thing, all characters are unlocked at the start. All the heroes here are unlocked at the start, meaning you don't have to grind for them. You don't have to unlock them, don't have to do challenges for them. They're not locked behind a battle pass or anything like that. All character unlocks are going to be free unlocked right now at the start, as well as any future characters that are announced, right? You're going to have them automatically. You don't have to grind for them, don't have to pay for them, anything like that. So that is very nice. The third thing, the simple characters. So a lot of the kind of variety that comes with all of these characters is, I would say, the depth of a lot of them, right? So you're going to have obviously simple characters like Squirrel Girl, which is similar to like Junkrat, right? And that's just going to have a character that's pretty simple. You're going to have things like a slingshot, a way to slow down people, a way to kind of buff yourself, as well as, yeah, that's the slowdown, that's the buff yourself. There's a jump right here, slingshot, and a ultimate. This, even in its simple form, is more than Overwatch, right? If you take an example of something like Mai, right? She has, the 2 ice things you can do, as well as the wall and the barrier and the ultimate, right? That's about the complexity of this character here, but generally speaking, this character has a little bit more, right? The slingshot here ricochets, right? So it can bounce across walls, and because of the destructibility, you can also use it to destroy walls. The height here can be obviously adjusted based on what it's being used around. You have a buff, which I believe also heals, and then we have the general slowdown, which you can charge, right? So there is a little bit more variety in terms of the complexity of the character than what you might see, and this is obviously a difficulty 1. The quality of Marvel Rivals characters and kits is that, well, something like that is relatively simple. You can have characters that have a much larger kind of skill ceiling, right? Either in terms of accuracy or in terms of technical use. In this case, a good example is Iron Fist, right? He's a very, not complicated, but a lot more involved character. You have your fists, you have your, dash attack and dash fist. You have your kick, which kind of tracks onto people. You have a recovery mode. You have a space performing triple jump. You have some more defensive stance that can block and reduce bullets. You can wall run, and then you can absorb other enemies, right? On top of the kind of team up ability. So the complexity of a character does matter, right? This 4-star character is way more complicated and involved than basically any character in Overwatch. And so I think if we're going in terms of unique elements, that third thing is even simple characters have more abilities and more nuance to them than simple ones in Overwatch, and complex characters have a much higher skill ceiling than something like Overwatch, just in their general kit and design. That is the third thing. The fourth thing, the Battle Pass that not many people kind of know about because it doesn't actually say here. In this case, this Battle Pass is like a half a Battle Pass because of Season 0, but if you buy this Battle Pass here, you will get access to the Battle Pass the entire time. It is not on a limit. It's a limit to buy, right? So like the kind of countdown is 35 days. That just basically means, hey, in 35 days, it's going to go away. But that does not mean that if you have bought the Battle Pass previously that you are not able to use it, right? So if you buy it, Season 0 of the Battle Pass, I believe when Season 1 pops around, you'll still be able to complete this Battle Pass here if you want to, and you don't have like a fear of missing out kind of factor. You do have to buy it in the allotted time frame, but once you do, you're able to work on it whenever you want. Now, obviously, we don't know how long that extends. It might just be the previous season, it might be all seasons, but that was confirmed that you shouldn't need to worry about the Battle Pass completion because you can just buy it now and then complete it basically on your own time. So I think that's overall really good and something that Helldivers does and some of the 2K games do, Lego Drive, that kind of stuff. And so I think it's a really nice thing, and it helps alleviate that fear of needing to play now, right? So that is the fourth thing. The fifth one, and I think this could obviously change depending on how the time and how everything happens, but the skin pricing for the game is relatively reasonable. Now, what I mean by that is, for example, you have the Hawkeye skin, right? You get a little animation that plays here, and the Hawkeye skin includes the skin itself, as well as an MVP, like play of the game kind of exit animation here. And then you have emote, you have a banner, and then you have a spray, right? This is a bundle, and it's about 16 bucks. Now, obviously, you know, depending on conditioning and everything like that, 16 bucks is, you know, a lot of money. But comparative to something like Fortnite or other games that are charging 20, or Overwatch, which charges 25, it is a reasonable price, I would say, for this. And the benefit is you're not locked into these bundles. As you can see here, if you just want this skin and that's all you're looking for, then you can do that for 14. And that is, generally speaking, quite a bit cheaper than trying to do something else, right, like Overwatch. The other thing that goes into skin pricing is the fact that you can earn, as the sixth thing here, you can earn these premium currencies through achievements and events, right? And so these are units. You can earn these units through events, and you can check the events by going, usually they're on your achievements here. If you go to the corner and go to achievements, you fill this up and you'll get a little goodie bag, and the goodie bag, as you can see, includes some Battle Pass credits and some other things. But there are going to be events later on, once the kind of season progresses, that will let you earn these items, right? Inventory here, they'll let you earn a bunch of items once you do, you know, complete challenges or whatever, and that will give you units, and you can convert units directly to lattice, right? So you can exchange units directly for lattice. So any units you earn, there's not like a free and a paid version of this or anything like that. You can just convert units directly to lattice and use that lattice to buy premium cosmetics, or I believe Battle Pass, and along you know, any other things that pop up in the store, the feature, the costumes, right? Any other items that show up, that kind of thing. So that's also a really good thing. You can earn this premium currency. It's obviously going to be limited, but there is a way to earn it if you don't want to have to pay for that, right? So that is the sixth thing. The seventh and final thing is kind of a collection of general performance factors. This game runs extremely well for being both an Unreal Engine 5 game and one that is relatively demanding in terms of its effects and animations and everything like that. The reason I say that is because it's a UE5 game where its servers didn't implode, and it runs pretty well on a lot of systems with about 500,000 people playing it at any given time right now. That's extremely important. There's a lot of settings here that are very useful. Target display and everything, standard stuff. Changing between Epic TSR, AMD FSR, DLSS, TAU, Zeiss, as well as frame generation, low latency mode, limiting FPS, network status, VSync. You have all the graphical options you can do there. There's audio options here for voice chat and everything like that. And there's a combat mix for accessibility, which is really nice. You have changing for keyboard, for UI, for communication, and all that. Same thing with controller. You can change all the controller and how that works and all the, you know, things around there. The social aspect, visibility, whisper message, team message. There's a lot of customizability here, and that's very impressive for a game that, you know, relatively speaking, doesn't necessarily need to be. You see this a lot of time in console games and console releases. If this is supposed to be a console first game, then they don't have all these settings a lot of the time, but it's a PC first game, so you're going to get a lot of that settings, and in this case, it's going to run very well. It's a UE5 game, and so there's always a, you know, contention point if it's going to run well. It runs very well. I'm very impressed with how this game runs and how it kind of performs, and the quality of the connection that I'm getting, right, and everything here. You can check quality connection by clicking on servers. Right now, I'm connected to the Virginia server at 28 milliseconds, which is very good, and even the ones further away from me are all under 100 milliseconds. That is obviously very good. You have the Asian servers, the European, the Middle East, and the Latin America servers. So overall, I would say the quality of the network capability, which is obviously something not a lot of people think about, but in a multiplayer setting, you know, is it lagging? Is there problems with the connection? Are you being constantly timed out? Is there like rubber banding and stuff that's happening? And the answer to all those questions from Marvel Rivals is no. The connection's been great. I'm able to get in matches quickly. I've never been kicked out. There's no lag, no memory leaks or anything like that. So it's a very well sort of maintained and designed game from a network perspective, which obviously is critical, but is a lot of the time something that you don't see. So I would say overall, small download size, the characters unlocking from the start and in the future, simple characters having more abilities and complex ones having a higher skill ceiling, Battle Pass being forever, skin prices being reasonable, earnable premium currency, and the polish of the general game from a network perspective as well as a server perspective, overall make this game extremely enjoyable to play, easy to play, right? There's not a lot of friction. You can kind of just hop in, get here, hit play, do all that. You're not going to be timed out or server or anything like that. There's not a bunch of fear of missing out components. There's not a bunch of, concerns when it comes to that. Everything here just works extremely well for a launch of a game. So hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully you kind of found some of those that you didn't know about before, anything like that. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe. I have a main channel that I do tech content about once a week, so you can subscribe there for more consistent videos. But I just want to get this out and kind of, let people know that some things, like it doesn't say, for example, the Battle Pass situation. But I know, and from their blog post, if you read it, that the Battle Pass is going to be a kind of ongoing thing, that you're not going to need to worry about buying it. But it doesn't say here, so I just thought, stuff like that you would have to collect, I can do it for you. So hopefully that was useful. Yeah. And if you want more of this video, more of these tips or anything like that, then make sure to sub to the channel, sub to my main channel for more consistent content, and I'll see everyone in the next video.